welcome to Faith and Yoga at St. Bartholomew's. I'm Dixie, and I am with a lot of our friends today who came to share in the practice and in this filming of Faith and Yoga. We have Marlene, Judy, Pat, Aaron, Jerry, and Fred. So together with them, we welcome you all. As has been our custom, we start out by asking Fred, and friends, will you help me with this? Friends, can you help me ask? What time is it, Fred? Just a second, and we'll tell you. Okay, go ahead, Fred.
It's time for the Olympics. So we will start out with our Olympic clock. And we're going to use and change feet. And back to floor.
And with that, we'll have Fred move us on to a little bit of warm-up here.
So we'll come down to our mat. With seated position. We're going to start out with the 90-90. So we'll drop our knees down to the mat. Floor. Do a twist. Reverse to the other side. Back to center. Everybody's looking good. From here we're going to do one of the positions that we saw in the Olympics, the boat pose. So we'll turn parallel to our mat, feet flat on the floor, bring our arms up, feet up. You point your toes if you feel comfortable with that. Remember to breathe. And if you want, you can even row your boat. And then back down to the floor.
We'll have some French instrumental music in the background today. And I also was thinking, while I was getting this class ready, the significance of gold, silver, and bronze, and what it means in the Bible. So we have gold, we'll start with the highest one. And gold represents God's kingship, His glory, and His holiness. And then moving on to silver, that has to do with the redemption. And maybe you want to think about the lives exchanged for silver coins. And in Psalms chapter 12, verse 6, describes God's word as being pure as silver refined in a furnace. And also purification and spiritual growth. And then we have bronze. And bronze is where God's judgment deals with sin. Only then can a person enter the pure and holy presence of God. So the story that we can relate to this is when Moses made the bronze serpent and set it on a pole. And if a serpent bit anyone, they could look up to the bronze serpent on the pole and they would not die as long as they looked at that. So just some likenesses of the metals and what they mean. Metals and medals, as that is. For today's Bible verse, or this month's Bible verse, I picked from Colossians chapter 1, verse 3. Live a life worthy of the Lord and please Him in every way. And that's where we're starting out with this today. The other thing I was thinking about as I prepared this lesson was how yoga and faith in yoga helps all the athletes, or the athletes that choose to participate in that. With yoga, they have increased flexibility, balance, coordination, lung function. It helps them manage stress, and it gives them strength. So those are just some things that came to mind. And one other thing are the Olympic rings. I don't know if you remember what they symbolize or not, but they represent the union and meeting of athletes from throughout the world at the Olympic Games. And the colors that the flags have in them, it's one color that is representative of each of the country's flags. So there's just a little recap of what these things mean. And we'll move on from here. I see you're sitting down, so I too will come on down to the mat here. And we'll start out by having our legs out in front of us in the staff position. And put our arms up by our side. Let's take a deep breath in through our nose. Arms rise up, stretch up, and then bend at the waist, and let your hands come down to your toes. Let yourself pull in here and stretch, lean in. You can relax, and let your arms come back up. Hands back out by the side. Inhale, arms go up. Once again, stretching from the torso up, bending at the waist toward your toes. Maybe go a little farther this time. And pulling yourself forward. And then release. And now we're going to let ourselves lie back on the mat. Let yourselves have a full body stretch here. And pull that right leg into your chest. And do a hip circle here. The magic number is 5 today. So a circle in each direction 5 times. And then you can release and bring the other leg into your chest. Pull it in. And once again, hip circles, 5 in each direction. If you completed your 5, you can send it back out. And once again, a full body stretch. This time pulling both knees into your chest. Letting yourself move from side to side. Let your legs fall over to the right. Tee out your arms and turn your head to the left. Take 5 breaths here, breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. Bringing those legs back to center. Once again, hugging them into your chest. Doing that movement from side to side. Letting your hips fall over to the left. Teeing out your arms. And once again, 5 breaths here. In through the nose and out through the mouth. Back to center. And once again, the knees are bent, soles of the feet are flat on the floor, palms are down on the mat alongside of your hips. Let your heels walk back to meet your fingertips. And when you've got them as close as you like them, let's lift up for bridge. Here in bridge, let's grasp our hands or bound our hands underneath if you'd like. And feel that strength. And once again, we're gonna, starting from here, take 5 breaths in before you release. You have your 5 breaths. Slowly let your spine come back down to the mat. And let yourself come up to, once again, a seated position. We're going to revisit Fred's boat here. So bring your knees in and hands out in front of you. If you feel ready, you can let yourself come into boat pose here, staying strong in your core. If you feel like you want to, you can stretch out those legs for a longer boat. And just hold on here. Remember to breathe in and out. And when you're ready, you can let yourself come down. We have our legs that they're ready to go into the toddler or butterfly position. So put the soles of your feet together, pulling them in toward your groin here. Check in with your posture. Everybody's looking good. And you can let those legs flutter up and down, holding on to the ankles or maybe to the toes. Try and keep your posture looking good and relax your shoulders down. Let's do 5 more breaths here, taking your time, breathing in through your nose and out. In and out. Breathing in and out. And 2 more in. Out. And last one, breathing in. And down. Good job. Let yourself transfer into the tabletop position. We'll get our cat and cow started. Remember to check in with yourself for alignment. Shoulders, elbows, and wrists. Hands spread wide if that's good for you. Hips, knees You should look back and not see any toes. So when you're ready, connect your breath as you let your belly drop and your gaze looks up for cow. Exhale, pull your belly button into your spine as you curve and arch your spine for cat. And once again, connect and let belly drop for cow. And 3 more of each. Coming to stillness here, and let yourself wag your tail here a little bit. We're going to go ahead and get our kickstand out on the right side and open our hearts out, pulling back our shoulder as we reach up. Option to let that arm bend, come back behind you, pulling the shoulder back as well. Gaze looks up. And we'll do 5 breaths here. Send your arm back up if you had it bent, and bring it back down. We'll switch over and let the other leg be the kickstand as we open our heart, bringing our shoulder back. Once again, option to bend it back. And bring your arm up if you have it down. And coming back to tabletop position. We're going to let ourselves come up to a kneeling position. Bring our arms out in front. Fingertips touch. As we bring them behind and work on our camel pose, getting comfortable with them leaning back and holding for 5 breaths. And you can bring it back up again. Hands come to the mat. We'll move on to spinal balance. Once again, take a moment to check in with your positioning. We're going to send the right flexed foot back and extend the left hand out in front of us. Using your core, and go ahead and get set on your breathing. And then bringing it in. Once again, let your hand have a little bit of relief here. Move your back from side to side. And then get repositioned, sending your left flexed foot back and reaching out in front. Bring it back. Once again, we're going to come up to this pre-camel position here. Arms out in front. Bring them behind as we do a lean back. And let yourself come back down to tabletop position. One more time. We're going to send the right foot back. And the left hand goes out. Left hand opens to the side. The right foot comes around. So you're in a position here. Good job. Bring the right hand back down and left foot. And we're going to do the same on the other side. So the left foot goes back. And the right hand. Bring the right hand out. And the left comes over. And bring it back. Now let your toes come together, knees separate, and let's go back for a child's pose. And we'll do this for 5 breaths as well. From here, we're going to come forward, belly down on the mat. Let your hands come back so they're underneath your armpit. Align your spine. Nose is on the mat. We're going to push away our gold medal as we lift up and look straight ahead. Exhale down. And let yourself readjust if you need to. Nose is on the mat. This time we take our nose and push away the silver metal as we arch up, turning our head to the right. Back to center, maybe come a little higher. And exhale and down. And let your nose touch the mat as you push away a bronze medal as you lift up. Turn your head to look to the left. Back to front. And then back down. From here, we're going to push back to a child's pose. And once again, 5 breaths here. Then we're going to move back up to tabletop. From tabletop, we're going to tuck our toes. We're going to lift up to down dog. So here in down dog, let your body go forward and back, forward and back. Let your feet pedal, pressing your knees, pressing your heels towards the mat. And up and down, and then walking towards your hands into a standing forward fold. Here in forward fold, let your head hang heavy, let your arms relax. Grasp opposite elbows and let yourself sway in a figure 8. And let your hands come back down to the mat. Shake your head yes. Shake your head no. Let yourself come up to a half forward fold, hands on the shin. And then let it go again. Soften your knees if you need to. And very slowly, let yourself come up to a standing position. And we're up. Good job, everyone. We're going to let ourselves continue to move here with the spin. You can go fast or you can go slow. It's up to you. But remember to breathe and remember to stay hydrated during this very hot month of August. If you were going fast, you can let yourself slow down. Come into a stillness. And then come to the back of your mat. Put your hands out so they're in front of you. And we are going to lift our right knee toward that hand and hold. And then down. Let yourself move a little. We're going to do the same with the other side. Hands out. This is to work on your balance. Hands up. And then 5 breaths here. Now we're going to walk forward on our mat in the same kind of manner. Our hands are going to be out, so our leg comes up towards our hands, and then down, and then relax, and down, up, and down. Like that. And now we're going to do it backwards. Please, please, please be careful. Good. Step up, and then back. Up and up. And one more time, forward and back. So here we go. The more you do it, the more comfortable you are because it's not as precarious. And then reverse it and back. And let yourself move again. A little bit of motion from side to side. Instead of mountain pose, we're going to consider our mountain to be the Eiffel Tower today. So that is what we'll be thinking of as we're doing this movement. So here we are with our feet facing forward. Feet are about hip distance apart. Hands are by our side. So take a breath. Let your arms rise up. Fingertips touch to a point. Hands, arms, and biceps by your ears as you stretch up. Good job. Looking good. Lean to your left. Back to the center. To your right. And back to center. Let yourself do a baby back bend. Back to center. And now reaching up again. Let your hands come down around. We're going to do it one more time. So reaching up, getting strong and grounded. Fingertips touch. To your left. Back to center. To your right. Coming to center, release. to center, and let yourself come back and around. Okay. The next we're going to do is we're going to be taking our shoulders towards our knees. This is good for digestion and just overall flexibility. So just legs are a little more than hip distance apart, toes are facing out in front of you. Just bend over, hands are on your knees, and then take your left elbow towards your right knee. And then here we go. That one goes down, come across, opposite side, and then back up. And 4 more times with us. And back down. And 2 more. Now we're going to reverse and go the opposite way. So your right shoulder to this knee starting this way as we come down and around. And once again, we need to do 4 more of these. Yourself come up. Take your feet so they're a little wider, feet are pointing forward. You have a wide stance. Let your arms come up. Open those hands wide. Spread your fingers for star pose. Hands come up. Fingertips touch. And we squat. See how we do here. Push up again for star. Come down and around. Hands back to center. Take a breath in. And down. One more time. We push up. Bring your hands together. And one more squat here. While you're here in your squat, put your hands on the floor or your mat and straighten your legs. Maybe you need to put your legs farther apart. And let your hands extend out so your hands are down around your ankles.